So we're going to be adding authentication to our auctions. So what this means is I want to be able to have a user create an account and have to log in before creating an auction. Now it's actually pretty simple to set this up in AppSync and to get everything working. But it took me a while to figure this out, just trying to pair all the resources together. So I'm now going to walk you through kind of what I figured out that I think is a pretty good way to do it. So here we have our current schema. So if you go to Amplify backend API auction, there's a schema.graphql folder. And there's also a bunch of other GraphQL folders in here. If you go to build, you might find some other stuff. But this is the one I want to copy. And I found the easiest way is to just delete this API and re-add it. So I'm going to say Amplify API remove. And then I pick the API I want to remove. I only have one right now. And yes, you can get rid of it. And so what that does is it actually deletes just the local files. All right, cool. And so after that, I can say amplify push if I want to push up. But at the same time, I want to create a new API. So I'm going to wait. So I'm going to say amplify API add. And here we're going to be doing some different options. So I'm going to say GraphQL. I'm going to name my auction. I guess we'll call this auth auction. So we have a different name for the API. And here's the difference. So instead of hitting API key, I'm going to hit Cognito. And then here I'm going to say yes, use the default one. And do I have an annotated schema? Nope. And yes, guide me through. And so here, what's the best way to describe your project? I'm going to click here the fine-grained access control and hit enter. And yes, I want to edit it. So now we're going to be taken to a little example schema that's a little bit more advanced. And this has some auth rules to it. So we can see up here, it looks like you can create some groups with Cognito. And then you can give each group different permissions. So there's some managers, and looks like they can do create, update, delete, mutations, and only employees can get and list this particular entity, so this task. So I'm not going to get into the groups right now. I'm just going to say we're going to create a new guy down here. So I'm going to call it auction. And the thing that I'm going to add to it is this auth rule right here. And what I want to say for this auth rule is only allow the owner, and I want to allow the owner to do certain things. So anyone can query it, but for the mutations, create, update, delete, I only want the owner to be able to do that. And so I'm going to say queries is null. So I don't know if I have to specify it, but they do here, so I'm going to go ahead and put it. Alright, so what my goal with putting this here is I want to allow only the person who owns... Oh, I put in the wrong place. We'll just copy this. Copy, paste. There we go. So my goal with adding this is only people who created the auction can then update and delete, and you have to be logged in to create it, and then anyone can query. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of this stuff up here, give that a save, come back to my terminal, and I'm going to hit enter. Yes, I'm done editing my schema. So then after this, I can say amplify push, and it's going to create a new schema or a new API. We can see that right here. So it's going to create that. It's going to also add some authentication with Cognito, and then we're going to delete our old API. Are you sure you want to continue? I'm going to say yes. And we'll let this build in the cloud, and I'm going to say yes. We're going to do TypeScript, keep the defaults here, yes, yes. And alright, so I'll let this build in the cloud. Alright, so my API finished creating in the cloud. So nothing actually changed in our mutations, queries, or subscriptions. The schema changed a little bit, but we have the same ones, so we don't have to actually change any of our code, at least on the front end right now, for the mutation/queries, because we're going to be doing the same ones, but now there's going to be some authentication logic on the server side. Now, our index over here, we're no longer using an API key to connect, and so it actually got rid of it in this AWS exports. And now we're going to be using a different authentication type. And I found what it is or how to set it up in this little documentation on AWS. We're going to be starting to use not AppSync but Amplify. If we take a look at this down here, we're going to be using this with authenticator component, and this is how we set up our AppSync client. So let's go ahead and copy this. Here's the ones for the Cognito user pools, which is what we're doing. So I'm going to paste this in down here, and we're going to get rid of this. Okay, so the auth type is good. Where is auth coming from? We need to go ahead and install yarn add AWS Amplify and AWS Amplify React. And then both of these, well, I think one of them has type definitions and one of them doesn't. I always forget which is which. I'm guessing the React one doesn't though. So let's import from AWS Amplify, and let's see, is there an auth? There's definitely an Amplify as well, and it should tell us if we go scroll down. Yeah, okay, so we get auth and Amplify from AWS Amplify. So let's copy that, paste that in here. So what are we doing with this? Well, our auth we use to get the current session, get the current ID, and then the JWT token. So I'm guessing they're using this for authentication, so they pass it in somehow. We also need to configure Amplify, which they do right here. Copy that. And ours is called AppSync config. So we're just passing in to Amplify the AWS exports here. And then what we can do is we can use this guy right here, the with authenticator. So I'll copy that. And I'm going to wrap our entire application in it right now. So I'm going to say with authenticator. And let's just copy it. And I'm going to copy this. And I'm just going to go over to the React app inv.d.ts. And at the very top, I'm just going to say declare module, because there are no TypeScript types for it, so I can just put it there to ignore this, I believe. And maybe I have to restart TypeScript for it to take effect, but we'll see. Anyway, we have this with authenticator on now, and so what's going to happen is it's going to detect if we're authenticated, and if we're not, it's going to ask us to log in and create an account before we can do anything. So let's see if my server is up. And actually, I want to show you something before I add the with authenticator. So I'm going to comment this out real quick. We'll figure out what's going on with that in a second. So if I don't add this with authenticator component and I come over here, we can come to inspect, go to console, and you'll notice we have some errors in our log here. We can also look at the network tab. If we refresh, we can see it was not support identity pool. Should be a GraphQL request probably in here somewhere as well, but things are not working. And let's say we try to create one. It's gonna be $123. Submit. Doesn't like it, and looks like it can't find the field list auctions on object undefined. Not sure what that's about, but anyway, this is all crashing because we're not logged in, and we added authentication now. So that's the next step, is how do we get the user to log in? Well, we can use this with authenticator piece. So copy that, we'll reapply it. And this did not seem to work, so I'm going to move it into its own file, AWS Amplify React.d.ts, and paste it in. And we'll grab that. There should be for sure only one place where I would have to put this, but I'm not sure exactly which one it is. That seemed to fix it over here though. Alright, looks like it's still having trouble from that side. I'm just going to restart the server and see if it's now fixed. Because it fixed over here and it looks good. So I think it just needs a restart. But what we're going to notice is when we add this with authenticator piece is the login screen is going to come up. And it's kind of disappointing that what I really want to set up is, and we'll see this in a second, is we now have to log in to see anything. So here's this piece that I'm talking about. And we can actually go through this. This is a real authentication piece. If I go to create account, I can actually sign up and create one. So I can go to 10-minute email if I want, and I'm going to get a new email. And we're going to copy that, and we're going to create an account for ourselves. Now, good to note, you need to have a capital letter in your password, and let's say I don't add one. Say create account, it actually will say it up here. And you can, by the way, configure the rules for this on the log or in the AWS console if you go to Cognito. And then after I create an account, it wants me to pass a confirmation code in, which it's going to send to my email over here. And here's our verification code. Put that in there. And now I can sign in. I'm going to use this email because that's what I use for my username and password. And now I can sign in. And now I can see the content here. Oops. And let's go ahead and create first item, or first auction. It's going to be $1. And hit submit. And now I can see the auction here. And if I refresh, it's still going to be there, and it's still going to be authenticated. So that's how you can add authentication, or at least some sort of authentication to our application. Now, it's a good thing to note, this is not really what I wanted to set up. What I really wanted to set up was, if I go to local storage over here, is it this, just this key? If I clear that, let's see if it logs me out. Yeah, it logs me out, cool. So I went to application, local storage, and then just cleared that to log me out. If I get rid of the with authenticator, I wanted to be able to see what the item is, and it won't let me. So I wanted to see the auction even if I'm not logged in. I wanted to restrict it to where you can only create things while you're logged in, but you can view things if you're not logged in. And so it looks like it doesn't work by default. And I found this one forum on AWS about how to do it. And basically, there's not a simple way. It's kind of convoluted no matter which way you pick. So we can either set up another API without authentication or without the user pool authentication to be able to access it. And we'd have to connect it to the same database so we get the same data. We could sign on them up as a guest user. And there's a couple other ones, but I was like, you know what, not worth going through and creating that for now. We'll just keep it like this, where you have to log in to even use our application. So that's it for this video, guys. That's kind of what I figured out of how you can add authentication and protect. We now have those routes protected. You have to authenticate, create yourself an account before you can actually do that stuff.